Right, should we kick off then? Should we make a start?
Yeah, it's cool.
Let's go for it. So we'll talk a little bit about the betting first to start off with. So Thibaut, great to see you. Thanks for joining. Where are you again? Did you say?
I'm in Gloucester and some dive in Gloucester at the minute.
So you can see Thibaut trying to work his phone, trying to work his computer as well. But yeah, the bets for this week we're just going to run over then. So we'll start off with yours. You're going for the fourfold this week then, Tiv. Yeah, quite ambitious. What are you? Do you want me to read the teams out for you?
No, I've got them here, I think, but yeah, I was going to do a treble, but I couldn't pick between two of the teams, and it just knocked the prices up a bit. So it did. This was before yesterday's games. I done Arsenal beat Man United. Man United is shite, you know what I mean? Like, just shocking at the moment, especially at home. And Arsenal obviously boosted by the results yesterday. And the thing is, they can probably drop players as well, can't they, in midweek now, being 7-1 up. That's done and gone in it, like that game. So I fancy them, and at the end of the day, if they don't win it, title's over. Like many people say, it's over already. Like, but we'll soon see. So I've done Arsenal, and they were a decent price yesterday, but I think they've been backed in a little bit after yesterday's results. So I've done Brighton to be Fulham. Both teams are not doing the best, you know what I mean? They're all right, like the pretty level pegging, but I just think Brighton's own form will carry them over the line there. I've done Palace to beat Ipswich. I think they're not a bad place as well. Obviously, Ipswich's form's awful, but Palace, I keep backing against them and they keep letting me down. Like, so I think they're one of the form teams in the Premier League at the moment. So fancy them. And to be honest, Ipswich, they're playing for nothing. The problem with that is they're playing for nothing. So you tend to relax, don't you? They're already probably on the beach. They're not going to stay up. Relaxes them a little bit. So it's always a bit of a danger at this time of the season. So but you fancy Palace. They are still playing for something. So you fancy them in that one. And then my last one was Brentford against Villa. I couldn't pick between them. Brentford's home pretty rubbish. Villa have just been in Europe, got a good result. So I haven't done either to win, but just done them both to score. Villa scored to the games, and Brentford being at home, Villa being a bit tired. So I've done them both to score. So that's the fourth for this week.
Yeah, I like it. It looks like it's around 6-1, isn't it? For that fourfold as well.
Yeah, it was 6.5 to 1. It's dropped down a little bit because of Arsenal's result yesterday. So if you're going to back it, obviously we're filming this on Wednesday night, so yesterday was Arsenal's game. He's been backed in a bit. He's whacking someone 7-1. Going to do that. So I reckon you'll probably get close to 6-1. 5.5 to 6-1, I reckon, for the 4.
Yeah. Feeney, what do you make of the picks? What do you make of Tiv's picks this week?
I'm all right with it. There's nothing there that you wouldn't think couldn't be done. As you say, Brentford, he started off fantastic, didn't he? At home, he had a cracking record, but even they've tailed off. And Aston Villa are just shocking and been shocking all season. But yeah, both teams to score. That seems to be the way to go on that one. It's hard to pick between the two of them to get a win out of that. But yeah, seems all sensible to me.
Yeah, I think that's Tiv said. They both normally score, don't they, Villa and Brentford as well? They both normally score. So like the look of that, 6-1 as well. So yeah, we'll have a go with that. I'll let you know Danny's picks. Danny, yeah, he works off another night, so he sent them over again to us. So what he's went for this week is, again, Brentford's at home. So I think Brentford have got quite a good home form at the moment. So or across the season, they're one of the form teams at home. So when Chelsea to beat Leicester, Chelsea have to beat Leicester, don't they? Surely got to beat Leicester. And then I think quite tricky. I don't know what you lads think about this, but he's still West Ham to beat Newcastle. Newcastle's away form quite strong. West Ham's home form quite weak, but you're all getting 2-1 for West Ham. But what you reckon on the West Ham Newcastle?
Is Isaac still out?
Yeah, I think he's out. Will Gordon play or will Gordon be suspended?
I don't know if he misses a game, does it then start the next game, but I'm not sure. Sometimes violent conduct, it skips a game and then it goes to the next game. But he's been getting slaughtered, Gordon. Anybody on Newcastle fans say he doesn't want to play in the final. That's why he's done it. I think that's a bit harsh, like, you know what I mean?
There's no player that wouldn't want to play in a final, is there?
No,
really.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I think what's quite interesting about that, it's whether, see, you might think normally that players might have one eye in the final, mightn't they? And that's why West Ham would be a good bet. But they still need to get points for Europe, don't they, Newcastle?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't afford to drop off. Do you know what I mean? It's over a week and a half away, like, so. Like you say, they're chasing for something. Kind of West Ham, they are where they are. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of a dead rubber to them at the moment. They're just mid-table. So Newcastle, they've got a chance for Champions League, haven't they?
Yeah, are West Ham safe already? Then they're only on about how many points? They're on 30, 33 points. But the bottom three teams that bad that West Ham are already safe.
Yeah, there's this big gap, isn't there? I think from Wolves to the next team, there's a big gap. There's a real big gap. It's ridiculous. So it's. I think it'll be the relegation battle for me. It'll be probably buried by about 5 games to go, or something, which is a bit crap for the neutral looking at something by the end of the season. Like, because you always like a bit of a relegation scrap, don't you, at the end?
Yeah. So I've just checked them. West Ham are on 33 points, so they are. And Ipswich are on 17, so they've already got that cushion, haven't they? I suppose for them, just the new managers came in, isn't it? Are they playing for the future a little bit and they want to impress them? That might be the other counterbalance. But 2-1 for the home team, and the other team's got a cup final. Yeah, hopefully good value. But there are 2 bets this week. With this our turn the corner. What do you reckon, Feeney?
Turn the corner with Thibaut. It's what we need.
What's the other fixtures? Should we go over the other fixtures and see what we fancy for them as well?
So the other matches, what you've got is Forest City. So again, I'm on the Sky Bet app, so it shows it in points, doesn't it? So it's 3.6 for Forest, 3.75 for the draw, and 1.91 for City. What do you think on those?
So what a City, even money. Forest are Andy at home, Andy, and City, you just don't know what you're getting with them at the moment. Like, it's probably one you stay away from, innit, to be fair. Like,
to give you a bit more context behind that, the home form for Forest, they're one of the best home teams in the league. They've played 12, they've won 7, drawn 3, and lost twice. City's away form at the moment. So City away from home, they're probably mid-table on the away form. They've played 13, they've only won 5 away from home, City.
The thing is, Forest sit back and counter, don't they? And obviously City, it's just 2 completely different styles in it. City will bully the ball, and then Forest will try and catch them on the break. So it'll be interesting, like, but you don't want to get behind Forest. If you go behind, they'll just sit back and they'll kill the game. So that'll be an interesting game. I probably wouldn't go near it, but like.
No, I was going to say, what would you do? Would you go with the even money City or the just under 3.5 to 1 for Forest based on the form guide? What would you, if you sway in one way, what would you sway?
The draw. Like, if I tend to feel, if I feel like that, I'm not sure. Like, the draw down the middle is the one you pick, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the Forest City one.
I'd sway that entirely, mate. Half 12 kick-off, no chance.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Half 12, it's a demon, that, and you don't want to get involved with that.
Otherwise, you're reloading for 3 o'clock, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Other games, you've got Liverpool, Southampton. I don't think we need to discuss that too much, or do we?
You'd like to think not, you know what I mean? It's Liverpool. The thing is, obviously, coming to the end of the season, the pressure you'd think could be on Liverpool, but some gap there. I think the pressure's alleviated by that gap for me, so I think it'll be a bit of a walk in the park.
Yeah, I think they'll control the game, to be honest. And I think if they didn't win by at least 2, you'd be surprised, wouldn't you?
Yeah, if you were betting on it, it'd be -1, -2, something like that, to get any kind of value out of it.
Yeah. Other game, another tricky one, I think, only because they're upturning form a little bit for Everton. So Moyes came in, they are doing a bit better, aren't they? Wolves are down there fighting, but again, are the bottom 3 that bad? That they're not that worried. But again, Wolves 2.5, the draw 3.1, and then Everton 2.8.
Where's it at, Molineux?
Molineux, that's at, yeah.
Yeah. Everton are doing well out here. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Everton, but the draw wouldn't surprise me either. No,
do you want the home form and away form again? So the home form for Wolves is the 4th worst in the league. The away form for Everton is 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th worst in the league. So
what's that? Oh, is that the last 6 games, or?
No, that's the full season. Full season.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think since Moyes comes in, I think you'd have to judge from that, though. You're like, if you're going to look at them stats, you'd have to judge from when Moyes come in, really. They're a different outfit, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're the I agree. They're the Saturday games. I think if you were going Everton on that, you'd probably go Everton or a draw. Would you on that basis?
What do you reckon, Fee?
I wouldn't mind. I'd probably do an Everton win, just to try and sneak it. You look at the odds, it's so close, and Everton are just going to want to try and climb the table as much as they can, try and bank some of the Premier League final position points. So, and as Thibaut says, they're a different outfit now, completely different. They're one of the form teams at the minute in the league. So yeah, I quite fancy him. Cunha's banned, so Wolves are going to be largely toothless. So yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit on Everton, but watch Wolves win now because I've said it.
That's the thing. Is he banned for that match? Because is it the same as Gordon? They both got sent off around the same.
Actually, it's a good shout, yeah. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. I don't know, because it's a weird one, isn't it? Because Jones got banned straight away, didn't he? I know it wasn't for violent conduct, but it's a bit strange, isn't it? What?
I thought it was either after the next game, or if you get banned on a Wednesday, then obviously with the Saturday or the Sunday being the same week, it starts the next week, so the next game. Like I say, ask Joel on that one, but that was my impression.
Yeah, maybe it's like the match week kind of thing, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. No, good stuff. Well, there are two bets. So just to summarise again what we've got, if anyone's going to follow us, try and follow the journey, try and turn our loss into wins on our bit of a beat the bookies experiment. Tips went for Arsenal, Brighton. Both teams have scored in the Brentford Villa match and went for Palace. And then Danny's went for Brentford, Chelsea, and the punt on West Ham. And both those bets, I think Thibaut's bet is around 6-1. Danny's best, you're looking at around 7-8-1. That's our bets this week.
So, Joel, quick question before we get into it. We were just talking then about the fixtures coming up, and talking about Cunha and Gordon. Will they be banned for this weekend, or does it skip a match? Would it be in violent conduct?
I don't know if it skips, but violent conduct's usually 3 domestic games.
Yeah, we didn't know whether it starts on the next game or then it skips a game and it's the one after. So that's what we were trying to figure out. But
I think it'll be straight away. I think
really
Gordon's out for the final, and they decided not to appeal it.
Yeah, because we were talking about Newcastle playing West Ham and wondering whether Gordon would play. So that was where we were coming from with it.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
Well, speaking of heads falling off.
Where do you want to start?
all around the gaff. So obviously Gordon, his head fell off last week with that stupid challenge that he made. Cunha's head fell off. He absolutely lost the plot on that one. Your mate Oliver's head fell off by not sending off the goalkeeper. So you and I were talking, weren't we, about like things where when someone's head falls off. Excessive force, all that comes into it, violent conduct. I guess as a referee, what's going through your head when it's all kicking off? How do you stay calm?
What, when there's a melee, or when someone's head gets taken off?
Well, it's when something stupid happens like that, and you see Gordon just being really, really ridiculous, or probably Cunha's is a better example. So he just kind of started wading in and started kicking the fellow on the floor. So yeah, what's the what's the initial gut feeling?
On a Saturday afternoon at grassroots level, if that happens, you've got a 22-man plus brawl on your hands. You just got to try and stay calm. You see some refs sort of blowing their whistle quite aggressively and trying to run to get involved in it, and they're just pouring petrol on the fire and making it worse. Trying to stay calm and sort of back off. Obviously protecting yourself, not trying to get caught in any crossfire or anything like that, but just trying to get in the best position to see who's lost their head, who's retaliating to him, who's getting involved but not worthy of a red, maybe just a bit of pushing, and who's you might have your eye on a keeper or a defender who's ran sort of 40-50 yards to get involved. They're usually their cards get marked straight away. It's easier if you've got assistants as well. You just sort of all stand in the best angle to try and see what's going on. Usually the referee will say to his assistants before the game, if there's a mass confrontation, try and get in the best position. One assistant will take the home team, the other one will take the away team, and try and in real time take down who's getting sent off, who's getting a yellow, whether or not, and then it comes into your head whether or not the game is going to continue or whether it'll just be a farce to continue it. You know,
You sound quite experienced in this, Joel. So I guess my next question is, how many or any experiences that you can share where this has actually happened and it just went off?
I've not actually had an abandonment in my own game, but there's more than 10, 15 occasions where there's been a brawl in a game and you've had to just step back for a minute and be like, whoa, this is happening. Yeah. It doesn't happen as often as you think, but when it goes off, you get a feeling in your gut that something's going to happen. There's a video in the Liverpool County Premier League the other week of two teams. It had one of them VO cameras, like the tactical cameras.
Yeah.
Right in front of the dugouts, and someone lobbed a water bottle at one of the managers and he runs back, mouthing off at him, and then someone pulls him back and there's punches. I think that game. Oh, it did get abandoned in the end, yeah. The ref and his assistant sort of backed off from the dugout and then just blew the final whistle and just walked off.
Yeah, I see that one. That as soon as you started describing, I was like, yeah, I know. Yeah. The water bottle one, that kicked it all off.
But that situation can only be like a matter of seconds away at any point. All it takes is someone to throw a little snide elbow or dig at someone or say something that they don't like, and it can all just go. Even if the game's like under control and nothing's really happened, that's all. It just takes like one person to lose their head.
Just like the paper and away we go kind of stuff, yeah. So obviously we do talk about contentious decisions, and there was an obvious one with Mateta. But I think the most astonishing thing for everyone was that Oliver didn't send him off initially. It went to VAR and they had to call it back. I guess from your point of view, and I think we see it probably much more this season, where referees will hold off and not give a decision and let VAR interject.
Yeah.
But that one seems very clear and obvious. Do you think that was maybe the reason why Oliver didn't, decide to send him straight away, thinking I need to get a better angle of this? Because again, all the screenshots that we've seen kind of shows him he's in a pretty good position.
Yeah, I think they're probably being advised to take that safety net of VAR. I know this is an extreme example. He's come flying in and he's got something like 14 stitches in his ear. He doesn't know that's going to happen as a situation. Everyone knows it's a red. I think they are taking a bit of a safety net and saying, take some time just so that the game to breathe or the situation, whatever might have happened, to calm down. I mean this in any situation, not just this one. And they've got that safety net then, and they've got all the angles. And in the end, they got to the correct decision. So I think there was a bit of outrage, but what's the outrage about? I know it's that he's not thought it was a red, or it's not appeared that he thought it was a red. I've mentioned this before on here about sort of selling a decision. Everyone will look at it and go, oh yeah, it's definitely red. Of course it is. But if he runs in and reacts and just pulls his red card out, and then VAR interjects, and it's definitely not a red card in another situation, then he looks worse. And he's got the decision wrong clearly in the first place. So
better to hang off, come to the right consensus the first time around rather than get it wrong and then after rescind the kind of thing.
Yeah.
One for the younger viewers on the pod. So if you want to see an interesting one, just Google Tony Schumacher in the 1982 World Cup and have a look at that for a foul.
I haven't come across that one. I think that was
it was the original worst foul you've ever seen. So yeah, give that a go.
I can't believe I've seen that, Joel. You need to look at that.
I probably have just not realising it was Tony Schumacher.
Yeah, Tony Schumacher. I don't actually know if he got sent off. Come to think of it, that's the surprising thing. And we see him on the other day where Kevin Keegan just got absolutely floored with a punch, and the defender never got sent off, but then Keegan got sent off for complaining. So there's all ones. And again, Google the Battle of Santiago. That's an absolute classic.
Oh, for that one, yeah.
So there's been a bit of a real change in the last week to do with goalkeepers holding on to the ball. I guess what's your take on it? Does it seem sensible? Will it get enforced? Because the indirect free kick for holding it longer than 6 seconds, as far as I knew, never got enforced at all.
Yeah, I think I've only ever seen it enforced once against Simon Mignolet. He held onto the ball for 22 seconds and we conceded an indirect free kick. And they scored from it. It's the only time I've ever seen it given. Because I think the actual offence, well, to be holding it for 30 seconds, you're taking the mick, but the outcome of that offence seemed so far away from a bit of time wasting. You've got an indirect free kick on what could be the edge of the 6-yard box for that. So I think I can see where they're coming from, that they've tried to make it a bit more, seems a bit more level with the offence, doesn't it? You give the corner away, you've got an attacking choice.
Put it into context, so essentially there's 8 seconds with the keeper's got to, for those that haven't seen it, there's 8 seconds for the keeper to get rid of the ball or get it out of the hands. For the last 5 seconds, the referee has to give a hand signal to show that he's counting down the 5 seconds. So there's got to be essentially a bit of a clear way to know when your time's running out. But as I say, it will be interesting to see how that kind of works. And goalkeepers will get wise to these things. They'll they'll let the ball out to the feet and so on and so forth. So it's they'll find ways around it to make it a bit longer.
Yeah, of course, the game will adapt like it has done for all of the rule changes. Like not being able to take a pass back or not being able to control it twice.
Thanks, Joe. The only thing I thought of on that, my viewpoint, it's just to stop the keepers having it for 30 seconds or something ridiculous, isn't it? You've seen them ones where they lean on it for ages. It's just a way of getting them to play the game again, isn't it? I agree with you, the Mateta one. I think that's exactly what VAR's for. If they get it wrong, there's no argument for sending off. Is the Cunha one, you'll probably think I'm mad in saying this, but when I watched it, I know you're saying his head's gone. It's a definite red card. 2 referees sometimes give yellows that and diffuse the situation. I don't know, was it over the top? The only thing what caught my eye over the weekend was the Newcastle game.
Yeah.
In the respect, Lamptey, when he got sent off, it's a pet hate of mine sometimes when I'm watching matches, but Lamptey, and I could be wrong on the stats on this, but he got booked, didn't he, for his first foul. And then his second foul, I don't know whether because Gordon got sent off, the referee felt like he had to even out, because to me, I think that was his second foul the whole game. And it just, I sometimes think if someone's on a yellow card, automatically now in the modern game, people think that their second foul is a red card. And to me...
Yeah, does come into it a little bit. Because sort of the crowd are more sensitive to any foul he makes now.
Yeah.
They're shouting for a red. Of course they are, but not all fouls are given as a yellow card. If he's been given it for persistently fouling, then yeah, fine. But yeah, you're right. I think he only had 2 fouls in the game. But I think they were both reckless or stopping a promising attack. Both yellows in their own respect, regardless of whether it was his first or his 50th.
Yeah, but I think most fouls are classed as stopping a promising attack. That's the thing. When I watched that second foul, I think the second foul, they might have had 1 forward. They had about 6 players back to the team, and he was going towards the byline. And I watched the tackle, and he come across him. He was a split seconds out of it, and he fouled him. And I just thought it's a free kick, and then he gave him a red card. And I think sometimes the commentators, and everything, when you listen, we've mentioned this before in this podcast, when you listen to Neville, when someone's being booked and someone else fouled, he does that. Oh,
yeah, you know there's trouble then.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, no, it's just a foul. I just think we've got to be careful that we're in danger of, if someone gives away 2 fouls, just nominal fouls, you get 2 yellow cards and a red. It's just going to take the competitive edge for me completely out the game. That's what they needs to be mindful of, I think, a little bit. But I think what you said there, Joel, right? It should be more for continuous fouls, doesn't it? If someone's trying to spoil the play and you've got a player who's fouling all the time, it's a yellow card warning, you carry on, you're going off, carries on fouling, it's a red card then. But I think that was the only thing that caught me eye. The back end of that game, I thought, I'm sure he's only had 2 fouls the whole game, that Lamptey, and he sent him off. And I just felt that was a bit harsh, mate.
Yeah, I don't think, from my perspective, I don't think that comes into my mind as often as you think it would. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of gone, right, he's had his first one. I'll note that mentally. He's had his second one. It's when you sort of know the types of players who will do it. I'm talking of grassroots here, and then they've had 2, and you're like, come on, you've had 2 already. You have a little private word with them. Then you make the 3rd one, you're like, it's a public word, and the captain comes in, and you're doing all these hand signals like stop it. And then after that, the next foul he does, it's easy. But then he's made 4s probably where that bar might come in for me for persistent infringement. But it doesn't matter if it's the first second of the game. If he makes a reckless foul, it's a yellow card.
Great, thanks, Joel.
No worries. Did you see that quickest red card in history?
No.
I did, yeah.
Was
the
it
fucking
Shrewsbury?
Shrewsbury?
Oh, I did see it. No, I did. I did see it, yeah.
I was watching the Bastard game.
The ball came up, didn't it?
Back then, something went like that, didn't he?
Yeah. I seen it. Yeah. How many seconds was it?
13, I think.
13.
I was listening to another podcast before, Football Cliches, and they were sort of joking about it, going, well, when is it? Is it when the foul's given? Is it when the ref goes to the back of his pocket? And then Opta have come out and said it's when the ref's got the apex of his card out. Like it's fully in the air. So that made me laugh a little bit before when I was listening to that.
Just on that other point, my stats team that came back to me on the Kuna and Gordon. They're both banned this weekend. Hello, mate.
Good evening. How are we?
Yeah, great. How are you?
Yeah, all right, mate. So...
you must be the busiest man I know. You're always on the go with something, aren't you?
Hello, mate. This weekend I've got hardly anything on, which is quite good for me. So
yeah, I like it.
A couple of games to go to and chill out.
Yeah, watch a load of footy and listen to a bit of music.
That's the one, mate. That's the one. I was at a gig last night, which is really good.
Who was it you went to last night?
I went to the Castle in Manchester, which is a gig venue we've done gigs at in the past. But Louis Berry, who's a singer-songwriter from Liverpool, he has a full band with him.
Yeah.
There's a band called the Coloons who are supporting also from Liverpool, and a girl from Sheffield called Harriet Rose. Both supports are really good. I've seen the Coloons before. But yeah, Louis Berry's not gigged for a couple of years, so it was good to see him. And I actually went to the gig on my own in the end because my mate Dave let me down literally about an hour before. I texted my mate Chris saying, "Are you up for tonight's gig? Are you up for coming to the gig?" He's like, yeah. And then when I texted him saying I'm in the pub, I thought he meant tomorrow night. It was his lad's birthday, so it was just like, oh man.
Yeah. And who was the other one you mentioned? The girl you mentioned as well. I think I seen that on your Instagram as well. What was it?
Yeah, Harriet Rose. She was really good. She did a cover of heavyweight champion of the world.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Everyone knows that tune, don't they? She did a cover for that to finish. First time I've seen her, but it looks like she's going to be playing some big festivals in the summer. So I think she said, excuse me, she's doing a big band show at Night and Day in September. So
good stuff. Good
Great venue, mate. Yeah, it's good.
Would you recommend going there, and would you recommend seeing those artists who you've seen?
Louis Berry is brilliant, mate. He's class. He's got a tune called Caledonia, which is about Scotland, place which I love going to, and one called Restless, which has been out for a while. But yeah, both good tunes, mate.
There you go. There's two to download for anyone listening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Way for us.
Yeah, he was good, mate.
Before we talk a bit of music, any football the weekend gone? So how are your teams getting on, Ian?
Mate, my Sunday team didn't have a game, which is good, so no points dropped. That was good. My under sevens team, they won 11-4, but I wasn't there. I was on an all day session with the Albion, so we were in the pub for like 11 o'clock. They organised a coach for the first time in forever, so that was good. That was good fun. And we sold out the coach pretty easy. It was just a good day, but the football was crap. It was just, you know what I mean? Just put all that time organising and blah blah blah, and then it's just wasn't good, mate. I think we had like one, maybe two shots on target. Got beat 1-0. Come back, had a couple more pints, and then I was back on.
Is this Witton Albion? Is it?
Yeah. We're actually not far from your neck of the woods on Saturday. We're playing Bootle away on Saturday.
Oh, right, okay,
3:00, yeah.
Very close to where I am, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, not far.
I love when you'd explain that. You said your under sevens team won 11-4, but I sold out the coach of 48 seats, and you were really made up. Sold out the coach.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I was well happy about that, so that was good.
That's your venue mentality, that, isn't it? When you've got venues and stuff, and you want to sell it out and get the artists to go.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
I love it.
Yeah. So I was out trying to find. We talked about indoor shoes and All the Young, didn't we? As two bands for this week. Indoor shoes. They've done about 5 or 6 gigs for us over the years. They play like Northwich, Liverpool, Cash 22 in Frodsham. They released an EP. It was actually August last year, but I've just had a quick look at the socials. They've not really done anything since then. I did message Evan, the lead singer, about coming on, but he hasn't got back to me. So, the lead singer is actually from Northwich, but the rest of the band, they're all based in Liverpool. I think they went to uni there, so they've just stayed in Liverpool. But they've got a tune called. They released a 4-track EP last summer, and I think it's arguably one of my best EPs of last year. The tune was called Manic Pixie Dream Girl, which is just a great tune. And they've got a tune called Blackpool Lights as well, which is about going on a date and driving through the lights in Blackpool. So that was cool. We've all been to Blackpool, haven't we? So that was good.
Yeah.
And then the other one is All the Young, which is an interesting band, really. They were together about 10 years ago. I think they were signed to a big label from Stoke. And then Ryan, the lead singer, I think they all went their separate ways. But Ryan, the lead singer, he lives in Copenhagen at the moment. He always got a wife and kids there and stuff. He's a massive Port Vale fan, loves his football like me. But yeah, it seems to work because the rest of the band are in Stoke. He's in Copenhagen. He just flies over and flies back. But they're playing next week, the Night and Day in Manchester on the 13th.
Okay.
So I don't think it's sold out yet. The supports, I can't remember who the supports are, but it looked a decent gig anyway. Have you ever been to the Night and Day?
No, we haven't. But I listened to both those ones when you sent them across to me. I like looking at their Instagram post straight away to see if there's any on there. I like it when they've got little snippets of the music, so I can get a flavour. And I then tend to put a little bit on Spotify or on my Amazon, and I'll listen to the tracks over and over again.
Yeah.
What was interesting about the indoor shoes one, which you've seen as well, I seen one of the clips where I think they were doing a bit of busking, was they, on one of them, and they had another busker there that was playing a drum, and they collaborated the busker playing a drum and put out there. I thought that was quite smart.
Yeah, they are good, really good, mate. Evan, the lead singer, whenever he plays, he goes into the crowd with his mic and does a bit of crowd interaction. So.
Yeah.
Just good, mate. Good songwriter. I say Manic Pixie Dream Girl is probably one of my favourite tunes from last year.
How would you describe those two bands in terms of
All the Young, I'd say indie rock, where in Indoor Shoes is more, I'd say indie, but more like, I don't know, it's hard to sort of pin it under a sort of genre, really. It's a bit poppy sometimes.
Yeah, like a slower indie, isn't it, when I listen to it?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's quite thought-provoking, some of his lyrics, which is good. And both bands are great lads, but I've known Ryan from All the Young for a good few years. He was in a previous band called Faraday, which I did a bit of work with. That was good.
Yeah.
But Ryan Jarvis is supporting next Thursday at the Night and Day, who's played some gigs with us. He's got some great tunes as well. So.
Yeah, I believe you send that over. We'll post that as well. We'll put
that. I'll send it across on WhatsApp, mate.
Brilliant.
But yeah, they also released a tune last week. Don't know if you listened to it, called Demons.
Yeah.
All the Young.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it says "Save me from the demons, my love" or something like that. But I've not actually spoken to him what it's about. We speak, probably every other week or something.
Yeah.
So if I'm free next Thursday, I'll go to the gig. Hopefully, as I say, it should. I know it's a bit of a trek for you, Manchester, but it should come down and sample one of the best venues in Manchester, in my opinion.
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I might go along to one. In my day job, away from this, I often have to go to Manchester for work. So
Oh dear.
yeah. Maybe there's a time over the next few weeks where I might have to stay over a few nights. So yeah, I might just see what's playing and what's around that time and try and tie it together if we can.
Keep us posted. And then with myself, I've got my next gig at the Jacaranda on the 15th, which is next week. So it's the Spitting Pips, another band from Stoke called Fawn, a band from Wigan called River, and a lad from North Wales called Dylan Ratcliffe. So
All right, so 4 bands on again, yeah.
yeah, so we'll try and do one acoustic opener and then 3 bands. So yeah, as soon as the acoustics finished, the first band can go on and start playing, basically.
Yeah, and just remind us again, how much is the entrance fee?
I think it's like £6 advance, 7 on the door, or something like that. So
brilliant value, Ian, isn't it? And
it is, mate. We try and keep our prices low. See some gigs are like 12, 13 quid for bands that you've never heard of. It's like, we try and keep it cheap so you can have a pint and maybe not a pint, but you can have a pint and get in for like 10, 12 quid. So
yeah, it's brilliant, that, isn't it? And how much of the pints? The around a £5 or a bit more? Or
yeah, I mean, they do like
Liverpool.
Carlsberg and Madrid, stuff like that, Jacaranda, but yeah, just whatever's cheapest. So they'll have some deals on, I'm sure. But
yeah,
I'm off to I don't know if you've heard of the Lathams from Wigan. They've just released their 3rd album. They're doing like an album showcase thing this Friday at Jacaranda Baltic, which is by the Baltic Market.
okay.
So the joys of being a promoter, I can get guest lists for stuff, which is very nice. So myself and Emily, my daughter, are going on Friday to watch them.
Is that this Friday? Did you say?
Yeah, this Friday. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And what are they called again? Did you say?
The Lathams, the lead singer. They've been going for a good few years. They played all over the Glastonbury and all over the world. But the lead singer Alex is an unreal songwriter, mate. He's just lyrically unreal, mate. Really good. There's a possibility the album might get to #1. I don't know, but I think the first 2 went to #1. So
Really? Wow.
They're too big for sort of my level. But they basically started playing pubs in Wigan about 4 years ago, maybe, and then they got picked up by a big management company. So
yeah,
it can be done, mate.
Yeah. And do you say they're playing at Jacaranda in Liverpool?
It's the Jacaranda Baltic, which is the one in
Markets.
Yeah, opposite the Baltic Market. Yeah, so it's like a 300 cap venue. They're doing a show at 6 and a show at 8. So yeah,
I'll download them. I'll have a little listen.
Yeah, mate. They've got the latest album.
I think I've heard of them. I think I've heard of them before, to be honest. But again, the songs, I'll have to just double check.
Yeah, the latest album, there's a tune called Heartbreaker on there, which is unreal, mate. Really good. So yeah, worth checking out.